wonder how loud we should be. You think like this distance?
I would say like the louder the better, but like this audio quality right here is probably good.
All right, ready? 3, 2. What the sports is up, everyone? It is my favorite time of year. It's the MLB postseason. October, the best sports month of the year, and if you don't agree, you're just it's clear cut. You're wrong. We have a special guest as a co-host today, Will Rommel, my buddy, a Red Sox fan from New Hampshire. We will get into a lot of MLB stuff with him. I'm co-hosting with Will and Ryan Homler. So we got Indians, Cubs, Red Sox bias coming at you today. We got some real analysis, so that may come as a surprise to some of you, and then some great segments at the end. But as usual, we're going to mix in the light stuff throughout. So it's going to be a packed MLB preview. We're very excited. We have some great MLB content coming out for the playoffs, which we're all super pumped for, and then some NFL stuff too. So stay tuned with all of our coverage. And as usual, or I guess since we've been on iTunes as usual, subscribe, leave a review, and like a rating is the third thing, I think. So do all those things. We will love you forever. And guys, let's get right into it. Hey. And break.
I think I'm going to use a different song for this one now. I'm going to use a baseball song.
All right, like a high-pass one.
Like center field. That's what I use for our baseball banner ones.
All right, like Macklemore. That's I hate
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Okay. Should I introduce you with Lansdowne Pod?
No, we haven't done one in a while. I got to do that again, so not yet. Nah.
Should I just say, like, sportscaster, like, in the making? Or, like, I don't know.
I don't care yet. Yeah, that
Red Sox super fan.
Yeah, let's do the one.
Okay.
You got these shirts kind of go back.
Wait, hold up. Catch me if I fall. No, these goes like an inch back. Yeah, just like, all right, ready? 3, 2. You want to stop fucking with stuff, bro? All right, 3.
Oh, wait, yeah. I forgot to ask. What's like the language thing on here?
No fucks.
Yeah.
And no shits, probably. And no bitches. It's like TV.
You can say like damn, hell, and like ass,
right.
But like, right?
Yeah.
I'm like,
we're a clean podcast on iTunes, so
technically.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it's like damn, hell, and ass probably are good.
All right.
But use it in moderation. Oh, use it like effectively too. You know.
Right. Yeah.
Beat me, arse. You know. Okay. Ready? 3, 2. All right, guys. I'm pumped to talk some baseball here. Luckily for us, it's all we're going to talk about on this podcast. But before we do, Will, this is your first time on a podcast with us. So for all the anxious listeners that want to know more about you, Will, tell them a little bit about yourself.
All right. So as I was introduced, my name is Will Rommel. I'm a huge Red Sox fan. I'm really excited to be on the podcast. I haven't been on one in a while. I've known Noah since I was going into my freshman year. We met at sports broadcasting camp my senior year in high school, right? So, yeah, I'm just excited to be on here and talk baseball. It's the best time of year.
Hell yeah, it's the best time of year. Ryan and I have been pumped. We've been waiting for this all year long, presuming our teams are going to be in the playoffs. I think all 3 of our teams were pretty much as prohibited as favorites in their division as there was in baseball, along with like the dot. Actually, pretty much every division had a favorite, other than like maybe the AL West, which we both picked the Mariners. Which is
we'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to bashing my predictions specifically later because God knows they were awful. All right, so we're gonna go team by team breakdowns here. We'll start with the NL and we'll go seeds 1 through 5, and then so for the NL, Ryan, you're the only one of us 3 with a favorite team in the NL, but the number 1 team in that league you don't seem too afraid of, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Thoughts on them? And then actually before you do that, I want to introduce what we're going to do for every team called, I think Brian and I just thought of this the other day, the dope meter. Just like basically a combination of like how much we like the team, how good they are, how fun they are to watch, just like everything about them, all the components, like mainly how good they are. That's going to be like the number 1. So like it's kind of what you make of it.
You can take the dope meter into whatever you think it means.
Yeah.
It's for you to interpret.
Yeah. And if you don't get that, you're probably just not, you probably don't have a high rating.
Dope. Yeah,
you probably don't have a high rating on the dope meter. So Ryan, what's your dope meter on the Dodgers?
I give them like a 6.
6.
Which is like good. They're obviously a good baseball team. I'm not going to sit here and say like the Dodgers aren't a very good baseball team because
I'll sit there and say that.
Huh? Okay. Okay. they have a great lineup. Yasiel Puig's been a lot better this year, which I think is like huge when you look at it. Obviously, Cody Bellinger, Corey Seager, Justin Turner is just like amazing ever since he left the Mets, like most players. And then, like, obviously when you look at the rotation, Kershaw, Darvish, Rich Hill, and Alex Wood.
I thought you were like not scared of the rotation.
That's a scary four. But no, listen, they have great players, but the reason they're not higher is because, like, I don't know, they just don't scare me in the playoffs. They're just like not a team that, like, I don't like. They are a winning team, but they don't have that winning tradition where when you see them in the playoffs, you're like, oh man, we gotta go to LA and play the Dodgers.
Well,
you know how much I hate that LA crowd because it sucks.
It does suck, but okay, so you're not scared of them. Will, if you were in the NL, would you be scared of the Dodgers?
No, I actually totally agree with Ryan. Like, I have him at a 7 on the dope meter. Kershaw hasn't performed in the playoffs over his career. Darvish has a 5.4 ERA in the postseason. Rich Hill's like this newfound commodity. He's only been like good for 2 years, and like their best hitters don't have a ton of experience. So,
okay, 7 on the dope meter, pretty high. I would agree. I don't really mind the Dodgers. Do you hate them, Ryan?
No, I don't really hate them. Like,
because you just beat them every time.
Yeah. We're like their big brother.
I don't know if I would say. Actually, maybe. I have them a 7. I don't really mind them. They're pretty damn good. They didn't stumble as much as everyone thought. Will came in with much better stats than Ryan and I. Well, the question on everyone's mind, guys, is Ryan, I think for you it's not a matter of if but when this team will choke.
Mm-hmm.
So I will let you take that away because I'm sure you're looking forward to the Los Angeles breakdown.
Yeah. Last year it was game 4 of the NLCS because they were up 2-1. I'll give them. I don't know. I think if the Diamondbacks win the wild card game, then the Dodgers choke in like game 3 of the NLDS. I think the Diamondbacks can easily like take the Dodgers in a series, and I think like.
But we'll get to that later.
If the Dodgers trip up in like game 1 or 2 against that wild card team, you could definitely like feel a sense of choke coming.
Will, thoughts on the choke?
I think it's going to be in the NLCS. I think they're going to get out, but yeah, I've got another team that we'll talk about later. I think that's going to take them down. In the NLCS, I don't see the Diamondbacks getting by them. I like the Diamondbacks, but they're too inexperienced. So we'll have to see about that. But I see him choking in the NLCS, probably around. And I could see them choking in Game 7. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. See just it all fall apart after a good series.
Will with a good old fashioned tease, telling us he has a team that's going to beat him, but. We will later see who that is.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, so let's just go to the next team, see if this is the team Will thinks is going to beat him.
Yeah.
The 2 seed in the NL, Ryan's biggest fear.
Yeah.
Is it actually your biggest fear?
We'll get to it. I think it changed a little in recent events.
Ooh. Oh, true. Mm-hmm. I forgot about that one recent event. So, Will, we'll let you start off here. The number 2 seed, the Nationals. What is your dope meter on them?
Yeah, I got them at a 9.5. Like, I think they're the team to beat in the NL. Yeah, I love the Nationals. Their rotation's mad good. Like, they've got Scherzer, Gio Gonzalez, and Strasburg all finished the year with ERAs under 3. And I know that, but Scherzer just had was it a thumb? Did he have a hand issue?
His like thigh.
It starts with
okay.
TH. Starts with a TH. That's all we know.
They but now it might be worse.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess it is like contingent on that because obviously he's their ace, but a 351 postseason hitter. Jason Worth has experience. Ryan Zimmerman hits 357 in the postseason, and Bryce Harper looked like his MVP self again this year. So
9.5.
9.5. Yeah, I probably would have had him at like a 9 before the Scherzer news. It just bumps it down to an 8. I don't know if it's actually ever going to be like anything serious, but I saw today that Dusty Baker said it will affect how he has to work his rotation, which means
he probably won't start game 1.
Yeah, that could be it. Obviously Strasburg is like a fine plug-in at 1, but like if it's something real, then that's a huge hit for the Nationals. Going in their lineup, Daniel Murphy is going to destroy the Cubs because that's just what he does. He had like 8 home runs against them in 2015 when he was on the Mets in the NLCS. I think Bryce Harper will come back with a vengeance because he really hasn't played. I like Ryan Zimmerman. I'm just like thinking he basically had a renaissance year this year, and like last year was not his year. So like, can he keep that up for the postseason?
I have signs to back up he will.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. What signs?
He hits the ball really hard, and he figured out how to hit it in the air this year.
Okay, yeah, a launch angle, of course.
Yeah.
But no, they are a good team, and a sneaky wild card thing is like if they can get Adam Eaton back at some point.
Oh, I
heard
heard
the Kyle Schwarber of last year.
Well, everything's Cubs, isn't it, bro?
Yeah,
Adam Eaton's baller though.
yeah.
I do like Adam Eaton. For dope meter, you guys are loving on the Nationals. You have them like 3 higher than the Dodgers. You crazy? Because you the Dodgers at a
I have
6.
2 higher than Dodgers.
But they had them at a 6. The Dodgers
Yeah,
at a 6. The Nationals
I said
at a
I
9.
bumped the Nationals down to an 8.
Oh, thanks. Okay. I have the Nationals at like a 7.5.
That's really only a half lower than mine.
Yeah, but I had the Dodgers at a 7.
Yeah, that's not
so
that much
like,
lower.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are just judging. But I like don't hate the Nationals. But I feel like they're just kind of like very ass. So there's no reason to like them really. They are pretty good. They have a completely like revamped open. Like their 7th, 8th, and 9th inning guys are all guys they got from the trade deadline, which is mucho smart, right? That mucho.
Mucho, yeah.
I'm like a Spanish wizard now. Muy smarto.
Yeah.
Muy inteligente. Yeah. You guys don't lecture me on Spanish. I'm like a veteran now.
yeah, sure.
No, but the Nationals, I would be scared of them because I feel like I was talking about this with Ryan a while ago. If their team like gets out of the first round, which is something they've not been able to do, they're like, we can do anything now. And then they're just going to be like super good, and they'll be like, we're just gods. So like, I'm kind of hoping that the Cubs just beat them for like the Indians' sake. If the Indians make it to the World Series and the Nationals are there, I'll be like, damn. Like
you can go to a game.
Oh, true. Then I can go to a game, which we, actually, definitely go Nats.
Back on the Nats train.
Yeah, back on the Nats train. But quickly here, guys, Scherzer injury. If it ends up being big, do they have any shot against the Cubs? Will, you can go first here.
Yeah, I still think so. I honestly, I just don't like the Cubs rotation that much this year. Like, I think it's, I think it took a big step down from last season. So I just don't think the Cubs have it. Like last year was a destiny year. I don't think it's like that this year. I just like the Nationals overall more. I don't think they may not get past the Dodgers if they don't have Scherzer, but if it the DS, then I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think even if he, like, let's say he doesn't pitch the first couple games, Strasburg is better than any pitcher the Cubs are going to put out there. And then Gio Gonzalez can probably compete with most of the Cubs pitchers are going to put out there.
And Tanner Roark's good too.
Yeah. Like, we'll get to the Cubs in a minute, but yeah, like the Cubs rotation is lacking. So I don't think it really hurts the Nationals as much as it could if this was like if they were playing the Cubs team from last year, people would already have written them off. But I do think if they have to go face the Dodgers, it'll be really tough without Scherzer.
I am pretty much writing them off if they don't have Scherzer. I'm not as big a believer in the Nats as you guys. I like them, but they're still a team that like has not done it before, and like that's not like very scientific or analytical, but like
that it does come into play.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I feel that way about a lot of teams this year. I don't disagree with you.
A lot of like couple like first
Dodgers the same way.
Dodgers,
Astros have last time they were there, they had that like they choked versus the Royals. So, Will, are the Nationals the team you were talking about that could beat the Dodgers?
Yeah, I think as long as Scherzer's healthy, then yeah.
And I think the consensus is he'll pitch in like the first 3 games, but like as long as
I think like the main thing right now, unless it somehow gets worse, which like I never want to root for injury, but if Max Scherzer hasn't missed a series, like it's not the end of the world for me. But I think he might just miss maybe game 1 or game 2.
All right, so let's move on here to some team that just kind of sucks. Will, let's just bash this team right before Ryan gets a chance to talk. So, Cubs, awful this year, terrible season. My dope meter on them, I've been kind of flipping back and forth. I'll go a 7.5 on here, a little bit higher than the Nationals. I'm picking them to be the Nats. I still believe in them.
Let's go.
I know. I
feel like it's because you're like everything that happened last year. Like your image of the Cubs is like different.
No, I did look at the Cubs a little while ago, like their stats and everything. I'm like, wow, they are not what I thought they were. But I don't believe in the Nats. I don't really believe in a lot of the NL teams. They have so many holes, like every NL team does. Not saying the AL is that much stronger, but like I think the AL teams might be a little bit more complete. I'm going Cubs, a 7.5 on the dope meter. Although it would be higher, but like they freaking beat us last year, so that's why it's a little bit lower. It'd probably be an 8. Although I should probably drop them down to like a 6 because I kind of hate them now.
Yeah.
But Will, before we let Ryan talk on his own team, thoughts on the Cubs?
I think I've got him at like a 6.5, like maybe a 7. Honestly, Arrieta did not live up to like what he has been in the past 2 years. ERA above 4.
Yeah,
Like he did not pitch well at all this year.
shaky.
I know like Quintana finished in the NL with a 3.74, but in the NL, like that's not what he's supposed to have. He should be in the low 3s. And obviously, like Wade Davis has been nails and the bullpen's good. Overall, I think their experience from last year definitely could help them, but like I do not see them overtaking the Nationals in any scenario.
Wow. No, I get it, because when you look at the Cubs, like,
Do you get it though?
like my dope meter on them is like a 5.5, and that's because I've watched them all year, so I know what they're about. I know that rotation is so inconsistent, and so you're either gonna get like a rotation where John Lester comes out and pitches like he can in October and is really good, and Jake Arrieta, who was actually like very good in the second half, but kind of has a hamstring injury now, so he might not go to Game 3. He can pitch like he did in the World Series last year, which was like insane. He'll be in good shape. Jose Quintana is a good pitcher. He's never pitched in the playoffs, so I have no idea.
He's a machine, bro. He can do
I have
whatever.
no idea what that's going to be like.
No
I love
emotions.
Kyle Hendricks. He has no emotions. I don't think he cares whatsoever. I think he will be like the Cubs' best pitcher in the playoffs. The bullpen is okay. If they can get to Wade Davis, they'll be fine. But like the reason I have hope is that the lineup is still really good. Obviously, Rizzo and Bryant are like maybe like back-to-back 2 of the best hitters in baseball. Javier Baez has had a step up from last year. Jason Hayward at least isn't as big of a hole in the lineup. Wilson Contreras is now like a big-time 4 hitter. The rest are kind of like hit and miss. I don't know what Kyle Schwarber I'm going to see. I don't know what Ian Happ I'm going to see. I love John Jay as like the leadoff hitter, but like
All right.
it's very
Enough.
inconsistent.
Enough.
Yeah.
My question to you is like, well, I think you remember this too, because correct me if I'm wrong, but you watched the postseason last year through the whole thing, right? Even after the Red Sox got swept by the Indians.
Yeah. Even after you guys sent us home, I did watch the entire postseason.
It was a what? What'd you say? Ryan?
I'd be so devastated. Like if the Cubs had like.
Let me get my question
Okay.
out, Holmes. My point being though, that like the Cubs, they won and like it was great and everything, but like a lot of their hitters really struggled. Like Baez was pretty much an automatic out, and like he had that one
in the World Series.
I mean, he had the home run late. But he other than that, he was pretty much a strikeout every time up. Hayward for the most part. Contreras struggled at times. A lot of the lineup, especially the bottom, really struggled. And if it was not for that Bryant home run in Game 5, like there's no way the Cubs win that series. But like, are you worried about like, the bottom of their lineup again?
No, I think it's a different lineup this year. I'm worried about a couple hitters. I'm worried about like Aston Russell, and obviously I'm worried about Javier Baez. But the rest, I think, will like show up and do their job. And it's also their second time in the playoffs now, which is like a whole different thing. They know what it's like to kind of go through the playoffs and like lose a game and still come back.
So, Will, do they blow a 3-1 lead now? Because God knows they deserve it.
Well, they're not going to blow a 3-1 lead because they're not going to get to a 7-game series. So I don't think that's going to be an issue this year.
All right, we will save our full predictions for the end of the show, so definitely stay tuned for those. But we know some of ours already. So the last, actually, we already got through all the division winners. So now to the wild card game. Not much excitement in the wild card races this year. They were kind of in the balance in the last week. But we pretty much knew it was going to be in. The Diamondbacks are a team that is gaining like a ton of steam from the media. People think they can actually make some noise. Dope meter on them, Ryan.
I give them like a 6, and like you have to look at them as like how are they going to perform in the 1-game series, because that's all that matters to them. You have Zach Greinke out on the mound, and it's a pretty good lineup. I love Paul Goldschmidt, Jake Lamb, JD Martinez, like
Steroids.
So many steroids, but we'll ignore that. It's a good lineup. They're home, and honestly, like I don't know, the Rockies, like they got a good matchup in getting to play the Rockies in 1-game series. So I think
you don't want the Rockies,
6,
bro.
No.
I love the Rockies.
Okay,
we will get.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan and Will have like the exact same takes on like all these teams. So Will, Diamondbacks, do you agree?
I mean, I like their lineup. They've got a ton of talent, like Goldschmidt, Pollock, and then JD Martinez, obviously steroids, right? And then Lamb. but like I see them as too inexperienced as a whole to actually get anything done. I think that they could win that wild card game because like I obviously I'm pretty low on the Rockies. I think they have a really bright future done in the next couple of years, but this year I don't see anything happening.
You guys are crazy with this inexperienced stuff, bro.
No,
It matters, man.
We
But
joke
young
that like the
teams-
Dodgers aren't like that like experienced of a playoff team, but they've been there before. And the Diamondbacks, after winning a wild card game, you now have to go play the best team in baseball. Like a lot of those players had never experienced something like
And
that.
start off this series with your ace.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like you can start with Robbie Ray, but against Kershaw, it's like nullified.
It matters, but like the teams that are young, and if they get
They
hot,
just don't care. Yeah.
and they just get in such a roll, a la Royals in 2014, and they were just on that insane run. Indians in 2016, Royals to a lesser extent because they'd been there the year before, but they were still a young team in 2015.
Cubs in 2015.
Yes, exactly. If you have a young team that's just like, what am I doing right now? And they just start going in relative to an old team that's like, shit, this might be my last time going in, and they just like start like getting scared and everything. It be different, man. So I think the inexperienced thing might be a benefit, but I'm still not as high on the Diamondbacks as you guys. I like them, but like the thing about JD Martinez, by the way, because I kind of want to stay on this for a minute. He hits balls like 420 feet that are like nowhere near the strike zone. I saw him hit a ball the other day that was like low and in off the plate, almost like hit him in the foot, like 425 feet to right field. I'm like, you ain't doing that unless you're like having like, I don't even know.
He hits
like
more
Babe Ruth.
opposite.
I don't even know who does that.
He hits more opposite field home runs than like I've ever seen anyone.
And balls
hit.
that shouldn't be hit to opposite field and that far. Okay, so I mean, JD Martinez.
We're
if you're
on you,
roids-
JD.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really care if you're on roids unless you get to the World Series and the Indians face you. Then I'm like,
Yeah, then I'm calling the MLB's office.
Yeah, but he's killing it right now. So let's get to their opponent. Well, you can start on the Rockies because you and Ryan both do not seem very high on them.
At all. I mean, they've got a great offense, but I'm actually like, I'm a big believer in the whole Coors Field effect. Like, the thinner air makes your offense better, makes balls travel farther. And then, like, their biggest issue is just John Gray, and I have zero confidence in that rotation. Like, him, even if they win that game, like, they have no shot.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, like first of all, you got to decide who you want to pitch in a one-game series, which like isn't easy because they really don't have like a bona fide ace. And then, like Will said, like you get to the Dodgers, now you're in a 5-game series. They don't have like 3 to 4 pitchers that they can like go out there and rely on. They would just get taken over. And the Coors Field effect is definitely an effect. Your boy Charlie Blackmon won the batting title, but he actually really shouldn't have if he didn't play at Coors Field. So like, there's a lot of like factors that go into like the Rockies being like good.
Might just pick the Rockies because they're so high on them.
Team ERA is a whole half run higher than the next highest playoff team in the NL, which is the Cubs. So they're just.
Wow, the Cubs are not that good.
It is the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's a different animal. So we'll wait and see. Okay, I'm like a big Rocks guy right now. I believe number one. I don't think this is who they're going to pitch in the wild card game, but I love me some Chatwood, some Tyler Chatwood. He's kind of my guy. I don't know why, but like every time I see him, he just
How many times have you watched Tyler?
Actually,
pitch?
like a decent amount of times because he's bounced around a lot. Every time I see him, he's just like a warrior, and I feel like he has that like postseason mentality, which again matters. And if he gets on the mound, I think he can just like go like 6 innings, give up 2 runs against any lineup in the postseason. And then all these teams in the postseason, their bullpens are good enough. The Rockies is not the best, but they have some good guys like Jake McGee back there that can, and Greg Holland too, who can like really hold down the fort. So I believe in this Rockies team. Another team that like none of these guys have any experience in the playoffs. If they win this game, if they take game 1 against the Dodgers, who knows what kind of run they can be on? Because if they win a game against the Dodgers early, it's in the back of the Dodgers' mind. They're like, damn, these young kids are going to beat us now, right?
Yeah, and they're young and don't have experience, but they also have that one core leader, Carlos Gonzalez, who was on that 2007 World Series team.
Who also sucks now.
So at least he's been there before.
Yeah,
he's like
bad.
a little leadership in the house. He's bad.
But mucho no bien.
You don't got to be good to talk a la Jason Hayward.
Yeah, true. All right, guys, any closing remarks on the NL? We're going to get into our full predictions later, but Ryan, Will, anything before we transition to the AL?
I really have no idea like who's going to come out.
I think the only team that can win the World Series out of the NL is the Nationals if Scherzer's healthy.
Y'all crazy.
Wow, that's hot.
That's a hot take. All right, so let's go to the AL now, where it is my belief that the most complete teams in the MLB lie in the American League. And we'll start with the 1 seed, the Indians. I'm very uncomfortable with them being like the prohibited favorite. I really don't like this feeling.
Hates when we talk good about his team.
Let's
just give him the crown right now.
Why? I mean, why? They haven't done anything yet. Bro, they're probably gonna like blow another 3-1 lead maybe. Like no one believes in them, right? I don't know. I mean, Will, is there anybody like the Indians are the favorites to pretty much everybody? Do you agree? And what is your dope meter on them?
I got them at a 9.75. Like they're totally my favorites. Like I love the Indians.
Hey.
So,
Ryan, thoughts?
9.99. Just like a 0.01 off, just in case something happens. But like they're obviously the best team in like all phases of the game. They've now been there before and done it. They've got that hunger because they didn't fully get there. I have that. Like their hunger is huge. They blew that lead.
I'm also hungry, mainly for peanut butter. Which quickly, can I ask the audience this? If you want to leave a comment on our podcast and don't know what to leave, just leave a helping note for me because I'm trying to eat some peanut butter out of the jar with a spoon right now. I don't know how to get to the stuff on the bottom. So if you have any tips or tricks, please let me know. I know we're kind of getting off the baseball track right there, but I'm just very curious because I need some help getting that peanut butter at the bottom of the jar. So back on the Tribe now. They're pretty good. What? Go ahead.
They're just really good.
I have the only thing keeping me from like a dope meter at the 10 is like the fact.
You never give anything a perfect 10 because then nothing can ever beat it.
I mean, no, that team, they're like pretty good. I would give them like a 9.7. The only thing I don't like is that they're apparently, according to Ryan, there's going to be a lot of bandwagon fans.
Yeah, so many bandwagon.
Do you think there's going to be bandwagon fans for the Indians? Well, because I don't think anyone could be like, Cleveland, sick. Like, that's not like a Cleveland.
I do. People did it with the Cavs. I've done it, yeah. People do it with the Cavs. They're going to do it with the Indians, too.
Damn.
Like, I would say
it's that Destiny team this year.
Yeah.
They're now the team that hasn't won the longest in baseball, so it's their year.
Like, if they were just, like, the team that had the best record this year, they would have, like, probably not that big of a bandwagon. But they won 22 straight games, and they have the longest drought in baseball, as you look like you're about to puke right here. They are, like, everyone is, like, so if they were to win, everyone can be like, yeah, I was with the Indians, Cleveland, 2-1-6, like, that's me.
That's what you're going to say. If the Cubs get knocked out, you're going to be the biggest 2-1-6
Well, yeah, because I'm your boy, and I'm here to support you.
If the Indians get knocked out, I will hope the Cubs fall immediately.
Obviously,
I hope you know that. All right, you guys are just getting me, like, going here. But, okay, quickly, Will, I'll let you go first on this question. Last one with the Tribe. If there's one flaw on this team, let's say the Red Sox win the DS and the Indians win the DS, and it's Red Sox. I know we'd be talking a lot, and we'd both be really excited. What is the flaw you would see in the Indians? Or, like, if you're John Farrell, because I know you think that you could do a better job than Farrell, like, how would you attack this Indians team?
I don't even know if you can, man. I really don't. Like, it's just a new and improved version of the team that swept us last year. It's just a healthy version of the team that swept us last year. I really have I have no take on that. There's no way that we'd ever take you guys down.
Okay, that's the thing. The MLB postseason is such a true. No one gave the Indians a chance to get the Red Sox last year. And if you just get hot for 3 games, you can take anybody down. The Indians could easily, a week from today, be out of the playoffs and have been swept by the freaking Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, I mean, it's all a mental thing. Like, let's say the Indians, like, don't hit in game 1. That's in their head now that we can't hit, and then it just carries over.
For me, that's I'll get into all my Indians analysis later, but that's the biggest compliment I can give this Indians team is they don't really let things drag them down. Like, last year, Will, if you remember in ALDS game 1, Hanley had the RBI hit in game 1, and the Red Sox took the lead, and I was, like, terrified of the Red Sox. So I'm like, we're going to lose in, like, 2 games, not even 3.
When the Indians were up, like, 6-0 in a game, the Red Sox would get a base hit, and it would be like, oh, game over. We lost. It's over.
But, like, point being, though, when Hanley had that hit, like, you could see, like, the Indians fans were not as confident as they are this year. They were just like, oh, man, like, that's, like, a devastating blow already. Indians did not flinch. Jose Ramirez got the hit next inning, and they've been doing that ever since. Like, even on the win streak, when there's a ton of pressure, they were doing the exact same thing. So That's my biggest compliment I can give to them. But enough on them.
Well, I would like to give my coach suggestion on how to beat them.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Sorry.
Bounty Gate.
Bounty
In the MLB. Slide into them at second base, hit them with a couple pitches.
All right, Ryan's off the podcast.
I'm not against that. I'm not against it.
You guys are awful human beings. I wouldn't even say that to the Cubs or Red Sox. What is?
It's called sarcasm. Look it up in the book.
No, you don't even say that, bro. You're oh my god, you guys are ticking me off right now. All right, let's go to the number 2 seed, the Houston Astros, a team that's being very overlooked. The best team in the AL for most of the year this year. Ryan, dope meter on them boys from Houston.
I give them like a 7. I think they're a good team offensively. Altuve, Correa, a bunch of other guys, Marlon Gonzalez.
A bunch of other dudes.
I like Justin Verlander added to the rotation. I think like playoff experience helps, although I know you said a bunch of times like the Indians basically own him, so I'm not sure how that will go.
The Indians do own Justin Verlander, and, well, I know you might not admit this, but they've killed Chris Sale. I mean, nobody's hit them better than the Indians. Nobody's hit him better than the Indians.
I guess the biggest thing for me is we say the Indians are a team of destiny, but like that Houston strong vibe, they got like the whole city
and like the Sports
them.
Illustrated cover like 4 years ago, it's like 2017
World
champions.
So like if Sports Illustrated wants to be right, like the Astros know they have the pressure of proving Sports Illustrated right, which like is huge.
Huge. Will, thoughts
on the Astros? I mean, they led the MLB in pretty much every offensive statistical category, and I don't see them having any problem up until they have to face the Indians. If they don't have to face the Indians, I really think that they're going to be in the World Series. But totally worries me, and their lack of pitching beyond Keuchel and Verlander scares me, as well as like McCullers was terrible in the second half. He had an ERA over 7. So their pitching totally worries me because I think that that's what wins championships.
Yeah. I mean, Verlander, to me, is such a weapon.
Yeah.
Like I say the Indians dominate him, which they've done very well against him, but he's shot them down in years past. He could do the same. Let's say the Yankees or somebody beat the Indians and Verlander does not have to play them. The Astros are a dangerous team. For me, my domain on them, I think it's like an 8. I really like this Astros team. I think they're wildly underrated, and I think they've been kind of like flying under the radar a little bit. Kind of to the extent of the Indians last year, where it's like one of the best teams all year long. Indians less so in 2016. A division winner, the 2 seed, facing the number 3 seed Red Sox, and
destiny.
Yeah, and a team that kind of has that youth, kind of has like the star shortstop, the infield that's really solid. I see some similarities between the 2 teams. The Astros are a team that I'm very nervous about. So I think I'm a little bit higher than you guys. A team now. Will, I've been waiting to talk about the Red Sox here with you.
A team that Will seems very down on.
Yeah.
Listen to this podcast.
I don't know yet. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, so I actually have a lot to say about the Red Sox because I have some good things and I have some bad things. So honestly, like I would be totally surprised if they got swept though. Like I can definitely see them taking at least one game. I would hope so. I do not want to repeat sweep. That would be bad.
Chris Sale's such an advantage. Like Chris Sale against
like they have the best starting pitcher in the series, and like I think that's a huge advantage. And we also have I'm not on the team. They also have two of the 3 best relievers in the series because Kimbrel is the best reliever in the series. I love Carson Smith. He's been so good since he came off the disabled list. And people forget that David Price has been absolute nails out of the bullpen since he got back.
I'm going to talk about David.
I think he could play that Andrew Miller role.
Yeah, definitely.
I love David Price out of the bullpen. I think that's a huge weapon. Ooh. So, I mean, I think just the biggest worry with me for the Red Sox is that lack of a clear third starter. Like you have Pomeranz, which is wild. But no way. If you asked me at the beginning of this year if I would feel confident with Drew Pomeranz going in as my number 2 starter, I'm super hyped about Pomeranz. I love him. But I would go into game 3. I would give Porcello the ball.
Well. Do you know what Drew Pomeranz is?
Yeah. What?
A former Indian. If you remember that.
Is he actually? I did not know that.
Everyone is a former Indian. Everyone's played for the Indians at one point. Drew Pomeran's prospect. I just wanted to let you know that.
Dude, we had this conversation at camp. I told you, dude, my grandfather is a former Indian.
What?
Everyone is a former Indian.
Wait, I forgot. Wait, what?
Yeah, my grandfather played for the Indians in the 40s for 2 years.
Wait. What years in the 40s?
I honestly, I have no idea. It was probably, I think it was one of them was 44.
If he was on the 1948 team, bro, I love you because that was the last time the Indians won the title.
It was before that.
Wow.
It was before that.
He just missed out then on some great baseball, trust me. But all right, please continue on your Red Sox stuff.
But yeah, and then so if I were the Sox, I would give Porcello the ball in Game 3, and I'd give him a short leash though. I think you've got to use Price out of the bullpen if Porcello struggles early. You really need to get that going. And this may seem like a dumb stat, but the Red Sox lead the AL in quality starts. Which I feel like in the postseason, if you can get 5 or 6 innings of 2 or 3 run ball, then give it to your bullpen, I feel like that's a huge advantage.
That was literally the Indians' formula last year. Kluber dominated through 8 innings, then just all right, let's throw. Or it was 4 innings, so that everyone else was all right, Trevor Bauer. They're 4 innings of 3-run baseball, which is not good, but just competent enough to you're not getting blown out. And all right, let's bring in Miller for 2. Brian Shaw for an inning in the 3rd, and Cody Allen. So that is actually a good point. That may actually work.
Yeah, no, that I'm big on that. And if I just want to get one more point out there. So I think that last year's postseason struggles could help. I like that the fact that, Mookie, Xander, Benintendi, they all have that postseason experience now, even if it was only 3 short games. And I think this team, as I am, they have this it thing where, dude, we've won 15 extra inning games. We're 15-3 in extra inning games. That's wild. And I really enjoy how no one gives us a shot. I like that mentality. I have low expectations.
I want
expectations. So if they get swept, I'm not going to be oh man, last year I was damn, we really should have beat that Indians team. But this year, if we get swept by the Astros, I'm going to be well, they were the better team. So overall, just wake me up for the ALCS. Shout out to Jared Carrabis because I'm ready.
Oh my god. Okay, so honestly, Will just talked me into that. I feel like the Red Sox are absolutely going to win
Red
the World
Sox
Series.
people like Carrabis, they're very good at making you believe that the Red Sox.
I could make you believe in 2 seconds the Indians are going to. Well, I mean that's not really hard. They're the favorites for everybody, but I'm very confident in my abilities to convince somebody that the Browns could go 12-4. Although I hate the Browns actually. I don't want to talk about it. Ryan, Red Sox.
I don't know that the Astros are a better team than the Red Sox. I think
agree.
I like the Red Sox over the Astros. I think the rotation is good. I like the offense. I don't know. It's just a toss-up. It's basically which team wants to go try and beat the Indians. I think the Red Sox would have a better chance to beat the Indians, but I guess my dope meter.
Overall, the Sox played the Indians well this year.
Yeah. So
there were some good games.
Yeah, there were.
Except
the one where the Sox won, that was nice.
That was the worst game ever.
That's when the whole city of Cleveland got fisted.
Yeah, Doug Fister just destroyed him. All right, finish up, Ryan.
I guess my dope meter would be a 7.2.
Yeah, Will, what's your dope meter on the Red Sox? Or did you already say that?
Honestly, I have them at a 5, just because I have all the good news about them, but I just have no expectations.
I got them at a 5.5, maybe a 6. I think they're pretty good, but their fan base, Will, you're fine, but their fan base just gets me going. I hate their fan base. So that really ticks me off. I believe in the Red Sox. I'm so excited for postseason baseball, not even just because of the Indians. There's some hella interesting series. I really don't know who to pick in the ALDS, the Astros and Red Sox. I've been flip-flopping during this podcast about who I'm going to pick. A lot of the experts are just picking the Astros hands down, giving the Red Sox no shot, which is crazy to me. You should never count the Red Sox or the Yankees out of any series they're in. It's just the Red Sox or Yankees. Like I said, we'll get to our full predictions later on. So we got 2 more teams and then some segments. We'll fire through these last 2 teams. The Yankees, first of all, as I just brought up. You guys, before we get into everything else, Will, Ryan, who do you guys Will, go first. Who do you think hates the Yankees more, Ryan or Will?
I don't know. It probably will be Ryan because I actually kind of like this Yankees team. I hate them overall, but like I hate Aaron Judge. I didn't. Now I do. ESPN has made me hate Aaron Judge. I can't stand him. Like it's not his fault, but I can't stand him.
Yeah, for like
and the whole. I guess the one thing that has pissed me off recently is the whole like thumbs down thing. Like just play baseball. You guys are like the dads. Stop trying to be funny. Stop trying to be funny. You guys are the dads of baseball. Just go back to your clean shaven pinstripes.
Okay, so if you cannot understand that last like 30 seconds of like incoherence, it was Ryan and Will bonding over the same reasons why they hate the Yankees.
They're just the worst.
So I think it's actually pretty similar.
Yeah.
Although I mean, Will said he didn't hate them, but it kind of sounds like he does.
I think you got to give it to Will because like his team is rivals the Yankees. I just hate the Yankees because I've grown up with next to Yankees fans my whole life.
All right, that's understandable.
Okay, I like them as a team. I hate like the concept of the Yankees. I hate them, but like this lineup and team that they have put together, I like a lot.
So what would your dope meter be on them? Pretty high.
I got them at like the same as the Red Sox because of the inexperience, but I think if you line them up, I got them at a 5. But if you line them up next to the Red Sox, I actually think they're better.
Wow.
So, like, who you tell me who has a better lineup?
I think the Red Sox. I'm not a big fan of the Yankees lineup. I don't think they're like individually they're like decent, but I don't think they're a very like good unit, especially in the playoffs. The only person I don't like in the Red Sox lineup right now is Xander. I don't think Xander's very good.
I kind of want him off my team. I want him off my team. I really do. I really do. He falls off in the second half every single year. It's bad.
I don't think Xander's that good, but I like a lot of the players in the Red Sox lineup. At first I was very hesitant to even put the Yankees and the Red Sox on the same plane, but they're much closer than I originally thought. So it is definitely very close between those two teams. It'd be a hell of an ALCS if that somehow worked out.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm really praying for a Red Sox Yankees ALCS. I would die for that.
I would be like pissed that Indians lost, but I'd also be like, this is gonna be crazy.
Like that would restart the rivalry. That would restart the rivalry because like it's kind of dormant right now. Like people I don't know how it is like outside of New England, but here like Nesson totally overplays the whole Red Sox Yankees rivalry. Like it doesn't exist. Like they don't hate each other, but I feel like a postseason series, 7 games, could really like bring that back, and I would love that.
That's a good point, Ryan. Dope meter and everything.
I'm gonna give them 2 meters. Like their skill meter is like a 7 because they're a good team. Dope meter like -50.
Okay, so overall like -30. So not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
All right, last team here. The Twins. I think our dope meter for them is all like the 10 probably.
Yeah. Best team in the playoffs.
Yeah, best team in the playoffs. Ryan, you want to go first? Dope meter and like what?
Yeah, like dope meter. Like I'll give them like a 4 because like they really turned their franchise around. They lost 103 games last year, and now they're in the playoffs, which is incredibly impressive. But I really give them no shot to really even win the wild card game, probably. And if they did, the Indians would smack them into like 2025. So like it's impressive that they got here, but there's not much they can really do.
Damn, sound negative on the Twins. Will, thoughts?
I agree. I have them at a 0. Like they have no shot. They have zero. They have 0 chance. Like 0 chance. They're good offensively, but Irvin Santana leading my postseason rotation. Like I'm all set. He's got a 5.56 in the postseason. Like their bullpen was 12th in the AL. I'm totally good with the Twins.
You guys are really down on the
Twins.
Twins.
They also traded their best bullpen arm, probably because they didn't think they were gonna make the playoffs. But.
Here's my thing. The Twins, actually, before I get into it, we have, as you can hear the door creaking, our Minnesota correspondent, you heard him on an earlier podcast, Theo Fladlin, a Minnesota super fan, is going to try to explain to the world here why the Twins are an actual threat. Oh, because Ryan and our co-host here, Will, were saying that the Twins have no shot. On our dope meter thing, I think Will gave him a 0.
I did.
Ryan gave him a 3. So, Theo, please present your case.
Is the meter from 1 to 10 likeliness of winning?
It's just like
whatever you think it is.
It's a combination of like how much you like them, how good they are.
10.
Like,
this is 10.
Okay, please
Please
explain.
It's going to be easy too. We have Irvin Santana on the mound. He's going to give up 4 hits max.
I'm sold already. I'm sold
He's going
already.
7 innings, and then we'll be up by 5 runs at that point already. We're not going to give up more than 5.
Even though your best hitter's injured.
Are you talking about Miguel Sano?
Yeah.
He's coming off the bench. By the way, calling this pinch hit home run in the 5th inning or later. A pinch hit home run by Miguel Sano.
I'm hyped for this game. It's got to be an all-time Twins game.
Yep.
Yeah. That's not saying a lot.
No, it's going to end 7-3. The Twins are going to win. Calling this right now, 7-3.
Okay, well then how are the Twins going to
How are they winning?
What do they do after that?
What do you mean?
When they go play the Indians?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just focused on this first game.
One game at a time, bro.
One game at a time. In New York, obviously, is the most important thing. That's the only thing on my mind right now. We've got hot batters. Bats are heating up at the right time. Mauer's hitting over 300. Jorge Polanco's been hitting dongs in the most recent month. In September, he's been going off. Everyone's hitting well.
All right,
pitching is good.
Enough. I cannot hear this Minnesota bias anymore. Wait, quickly. Who are you most scared of? Who are you most scared of in the AL?
The Indians.
And then who is your pick to win the NL pennant?
NL?
Be wise, boy.
Yeah, be wise, bro. Get a Cubs fan in here.
I think the Diamondbacks will surprise people.
Wow. Okay, so be us two.
I got Diamondbacks. I got Diamondbacks, Cleveland Indians in the World Series.
Oh, so you have the Twins losing. All right, understandable.
I do. Yeah, in the second.
All right, that was our Minnesota correspondent, Theo. Slightly biased Minnesota fan.
Not at all.
Are you? Or a realist?
Yeah. We'll see. 7-3.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
We are very excited for that game. We'll provide updates on our Twitter about Theo's feelings. Okay, Theo. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
All right, so let's get on to some segments at the end here. We got a little bit of time left before we get into our actual predictions. Guys, let's go quickly through these. So we'll start with our biggest, damn, they are good, but who was that? Like last year, there was plenty of these guys. Indians, Cubs had plenty of these guys who were the Blue Jays had some of the guys out of their bullpen last year, like Biagini, like he was cooking, but no one knew who he was. So, Ryan, who's your like surprise guy? Like they're cooking, but like I don't know who that is.
It's tough. There's like so many. I'm gonna go with Kike Hernandez.
Ooh,
love me some Kike Hernandez. Maybe he gets hot in the Dodgers series. He's got that like fire about him.
All right, Will, who's yours?
Give me Michael Taylor from the Nationals. He hit 271 this year. And then in September and October, he hit 284 with 7 home runs and 15 RBIs. He's already heating up. Michael Taylor, outfielder for the Nats.
I like both these picks. Mine is, you're probably going to be like, no, you're stupid. But no one's really talking about him. I mean, we did earlier, but like everyone's kind of forgot about this guy, David Price. I said this earlier, like before we talked about him a lot, but I was going to say the same thing, Will. Like he could be a beast out of the bullpen. I think he will be. Maybe not Andrew Miller-like because that was just like God level 10,000 or whatever. But David Price could be an absolute weapon, and people have forgotten about him. Like the average fan, some of them will be like, "Oh, I thought he was starting the Rays or something like that," because he's like not made much noise with the Red Sox in that postseason start last year where Lonnie clocked that dinger. But I mean, other than that, I'm excited for David Price. Yeah, I'm excited for David Price, but now somebody on the
I hope you're right. I really hope you're right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I usually am. All right, so let's go a little bit more negative here. The biggest choke artist. Will, you can start this one off.
If the Yankees win the wild card game, I think Aaron Judge is going to have an absolutely terrible ALDS. If not, I think it's Yu Darvish. So let's say that Aaron Judge, like the Yankees lose the wild card game to the Twins, which would be a choke job within itself. But I think Yu Darvish is going to be absolutely terrible this postseason. He's shown nothing that he's shown no signs that he's going to play well in the postseason. I think he's going to have another poor postseason.
Ryan, stop getting texts on your computer.
I'm just very popular.
Yeah, Ryan's a little bit too popular.
I'd like to say that I agree with both of Will's picks. I definitely second the Aaron Judge thing. I think he will choke so much. I'm so excited. I'm going to go with Justin Verlander on the Astros.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great.
I don't know if he'll find it for the postseason. It'll be interesting. He has been good of late, but who knows?
I'm going with another starting pitcher. You guys, I think both are high in him. Zach Greinke. I don't think he's going to be what everyone chalks him up to be. I think the Rockies, maybe not he's going to choke so much. I think the Rockies are just like actually going to do very well against them. They're a team that I think is going to get very hot and possibly make some noise. So I don't see a very good start from Greinke. Back on the positive side here, though. Ryan, I know you have a lot of love for this segment, the David Ross of the postseason, where it's just like this old dude, and you're just like maybe like last ride, like wants to win a title, and whatnot. So, Ryan, you know David Ross very well. Who's the David Ross of this postseason? I was thinking about putting Bartolo.
Yeah, he's gonna pitch that wild card game somehow. Somehow they're gonna get him in there. He's gonna record the save. It's gonna be insane. He's just gonna ride it through a magical postseason where the Twins bring a World Series to Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. One of my favorite cities in America, Minneapolis. Will, do you agree with this Bartolo pick? And then who was yours?
I had Bartolo too. Like he's gonna bring Minnesota. Big Sexy's gonna bring him a championship. Obviously,
you guys are just
yeah.
You guys. That's kind of what I wanted to put too, but I thought about it.
He's actually going to hit a home run. He's going to bat. He's going to hit a home run. That's what's going to happen.
If he did, that'd just be like peak MLB.
Yeah.
The MLB would just be like
that'd be the best. Yeah.
I'm going with Carlos Beltran. Like the guy's never won a title, I believe. Old dude, very seasoned veteran. Used like the way he should be now, kind of like wherever he's fitting that day. I like Beltran. Right up, maybe retire. I don't think he's gonna retire. He still has like another year on his contract. He definitely won't. But like, let's say he does like he's dope in the World Series. Like, I'm just gonna ride off into the sunset and win like that. So Beltran and Big Sexy, maybe a possible ALCS matchup.
That'd be insane.
That'd be cray. Although it turns out to be
awesome.
So I don't know. So right now, for quickly, I know Ryan's excited for this one. It's time to bash my preseason predictions. So Ryan, take it away.
Yeah. So. I guess for Will and everyone out there who might not know, Noah and I did our division winners and then like all the way up to the World Series picks back in May, I believe. And some of them are pretty good, but we'll focus on two. Noah had the Pirates and the Giants playing in the NLCS for a trip to World Series, and I actually believe you had the Giants beating the Indians in the World Series.
This is true.
You could not have been more off ever in your life.
I had the Mariners in the ALCS too. So
did you guys see that thing about Pablo Sandoval yesterday? What he did? You know how he hit the walk-off?
You hate Pablo Sandoval, don't you?
Now listen. That walk-off cost the Giants the number 1 pick in the draft. That's so Pablo Sandoval. I absolutely love it. That's so funny.
I like Pablo.
Dude, all right. No, I could rant about Pablo for hours and hours and hours and hours. Just so complete. Oh, don't even get me going. But it just made me so happy that even when he does something good, it loses his team the first overall pick. That's so awesome. I love that.
Yeah, that is a very Pablo thing to do. All right, we got 3 more quick little segments before we get into our actual predictions to finish off the show. So I was thinking earlier, guys, what if the MLB was like the NFL where like it's different because it's like a 7-game series or 4 to 7-game series. So just one. But what if it was like a Super Bowl type scenario where they just played the World Series in some like predetermined city, which is kind of weird and it definitely would never happen. But like, where would you guys want that World Series to be, Ryan?
Colorado.
Oh, that'd be hype.
Scoring, the ball would just fly out of there for 7 games.
That would be hype.
Yeah.
Will, thoughts?
All right, so this is I don't know what kind of pick you guys are gonna take this at, but like, I would love to have it in DC. I think that'd be really cool to have like America's Pastime have their like the inaugural like neutral site World Series be in the capital of the nation. I feel like that'd be cool.
So patriotic, bro.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the opposite of patriotic. The Dominican Republic. 2 reasons. 1, a lot of players from there. 2, how hype are like Dominican fans.
Yeah, that would be wild.
And like it builds the global brand and like fans there when they get to see like all like imagine like Big Papi was there and like the Red Sox were in the World Series. How effing Looney Tunes those Dominicans would be if they got to saw Big Papi in the World Series.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like as neutral as you can get, pretty much. Like although like people from Cleveland are like not gonna fly out to the Dominican Republic to watch a World Series game, pay like thousands of dollars for everything. But I think that'd be cool. Obviously it won't happen, but we wanted to. And then something Ryan brought up earlier, and I think you tweeted about how much you liked Tony Romo the other day. Ryan.
Yeah, I do. I think he's awesome.
So a little segment of ours. Who would you rather? Who would you want to hear broadcasting more? Ryan, go first. Tony Romo or Joe Buck, who called the World Series last year?
I love Joe Buck. Probably
because
he's biased to he's biased to every team that's not yours. That's what everyone says. He was probably biased to the Cubs, but I don't know. I love Joe Buck. I love his voice. I love what he does. And I'm not a big Tony Romo fan. Not because he doesn't know what he's doing, but because he's always talking over Jim Nantz. I'm pretty sure Jim Nantz hates him. He just won't say it. And like his voice gets high at really random times. So yeah, I'd go Joe Buck.
Will, do you agree?
I would go Joe Buck just because like he's made so many great calls over the years. Like I really can't find a bad one. And I don't know, Tony. The reason I love Tony Romo is because it just amazes me how he just predicts plays, and I don't know if he'd be able to do that in baseball. So
yeah.
but that's what makes me. That's why I love Tony Romo. But I would go Joe Buck.
I like Romo too. I was hesitant at first. I like him, but I was watching last week. I'm like, all right, kind of feeling Tony Romo right now. But
I want to hear what Jay Cutler would be like. I'm so interested.
He was
like this close.
I feel like he'd come out of his shell.
No, I feel like he'd be so bad.
All right, stick to baseball here, bro. MLB preview. I don't mind Joe Buck. People in Cleveland hated him. I didn't think he was that bad. He did love Schwarber, but I thought he was fine. He's a very good broadcaster. Yeah, chill, bro. But I would be fine with both. So, do we have any other segments? Oh, yes, one I completely forgot about. This one I thought of, and I thought was going to be very fun to talk about. What team, guys, did not make the postseason would have made noise if they were in? Possibly the Giants, possibly the Pirates, possibly the Mariners, any of my picks, anything like that. So one of these teams that was either close or just awful this year, but they were in, not in the playoffs, but they would have done well had they been in there. Ryan,
I like the Brewers. I think they would have. I think they would have like maybe come out of the wild card, although their pitching staff took some hurt. But I actually do like the Brewers. I think they're like a young team that was having fun and just like playing with house money, and I think they could have rid that into the playoffs.
Thoughts, Will?
I think I'd go Tampa Bay. They're really good at beating teams that are better than them. So they're really good at playing spoiler, and they also had the fourth best team ERA in the AL this year, which I didn't know. But yeah, I don't know how much noise they'd make, but I think out of any team that didn't make it, I think Tampa Bay could have won the wild card game and maybe stolen a game from Cleveland or two.
I do like Tampa Bay. I'm going with my pick, the Giants, just because no matter
they were the worst team in baseball, actually second worst, but
yeah, if there was three of us as their starting nine, just because we were wearing that Giants uniform, we'd probably win in the playoffs and just come up clutch and just randomly win the World Series. So I'm a big.
They do have Pablo. That's a good point. He's great for them in the postseason.
8 of us and Pablo. We would just cook, guys. So yeah, I think the Giants could have made some noise. So without further ado, it's time to make our actual predictions. So I'll introduce every game / series, and we'll give a who we think is going to win and some quick analysis on it. So AL wildcard game is first. AL wildcard game is tonight. When you're listening to this, hopefully you're listening to this on the day it comes out, Tuesday, October 3rd.
Yes.
Ryan, Yankees, Twins.
Yankees.
Boo. Why? They're good.
Twins just don't have it, yeah.
Will.
Yankees, they're better than the Twins. Pitching matchup is better. They have Severino. I'm taking Severino over Irvin Santana.
I want to say the Twins, and I legitimately think that I will win, but I feel like I'll just get crapped on. And you guys will be like, oh, you're just the contrarian, so I'm going to pick the Yankees because they are better. But I really could see the Twins actually winning this game. NL wildcard game, Diamondbacks, Rockies. I'm going Rockies. I like this Rockies team. I'm not a big believer in Greinke in this game. Will.
Diamondbacks.
Boo.
Yep.
Uniforms.
Dude, what uniform are they going to wear is the question. They have 94.
Yeah, they'll probably go all white. I wish they were on the road to where they're all dark gray ones. I love those.
Those are pretty cool. All right, so let's start. I think that
one thing on the Diamondbacks jerseys, I want them to wear the ones that say Los Backs across the front. That would be dope.
The backs.
The backs.
And that incorporates the Spanish theme.
Yeah, I'm big on Spanish themes. All right, so let's go to the ALDS now because both those games are first. I'm not sure which one is first because the Indians are the one. We'll start with them. Indians versus, we all said Yankees. Who wins how many games? Will, you can go first here.
I think that the Indians take it in 6. I do think that the Yankees can steal a game or two. It might go 5, but I think they steal 1 with either Sonny Gray or Severino on the mound.
Wait, okay, Will, quick question. How is the series going to go 6 games when it's a 5-game series?
Oh, good point. I was thinking 7 games. It's gonna go 4 or 5. That's what I meant.
Ryan, agree?
Yeah, I'll go Indians in 4. I think the Yankees can steal 1.
I'm going to go Indians in 4. Just so boring here. But
You never want to say your own team's gonna sweep. It's just so much confidence.
Yeah. I'm not picking the Indians to win the World Series. I'll tell you right now, just because I can't do it. I never will. But I'm going Indians in 4. They're just a better team than the Yankees, and I think another person the Indians hit well is Aroldis Chapman. They've hit him very well in the past. Not even seriously, not even just that Rajai Harmon. Like this year, there was a game where Chapman was closing, and the Indians went 1, 2, 3, but they were all like a ball hit to the wall, a line drive, and then a diving play. The Indians can hit Chapman along with other AL pitchers. So we'll actually make it go last here. Red Sox, Astros. I'm really torn on this one, but before the podcast, I was fully Astros. So I'm going Astros in 5. I think it's going to be a hell of a series. I'm probably more excited for that one than any other series. Obviously, the Indians, but I like both these teams. I really don't know who to pick, but I'm going to Astros in 5 just because I really like Beltran and Alex Bregman, 2 players I really think might show up and show.
Yeah. Sox in 5. Fenway Magic.
Which Fenway Magic is a real thing. Well, it is an amazing place, as you know.
Yeah. So I really, really, really hope that it's Sox in 3 because I'm going to Game 3, so I would get to see the sweep in person. But
where are you sitting?
Right on the first baseline. I'm under the overhang on the first baseline.
Nice seats. Props to you.
Yeah, so I'm going to Game 3, so I would love to see Sox in 3, but realistically, I think I'm going to go Astros in 4. Our lineup is just not good enough. It's so inconsistent.
Scary. All right, let's go quickly here to the NL. Ryan, we already picked the NL wildcard game. Cubs, we'll go Dodgers versus who the hell are they playing? The wildcard team. I picked the Rockies. You guys picked Diamondbacks. Dodgers, Diamondbacks. Who wins how many games?
Dodgers in 5.
Diamondbacks
push them.
Dodgers in 5. Will?
Dodgers in 4.
I'm going I actually think the Rockies could. I don't believe in the Dodgers too much. They're a good team, but I really don't think they're going to win well in the playoffs. I'm going Rockies in 5 because if it goes to there's no way that the Dodgers are winning. Other NL one, Cubs versus Nationals. Will start it off.
I'll say Nats in 5.
Nats in 5
because I think that the Cubs could take an early game with Scherzer not pitching until 2 or 3.
Cubs in 4, championship pedigree. Wears off.
I'm saying Cubs in 3.
Let's go.
I think let's go. Stop. But I think the Cubs are going to straight up sweep them. So our NL now let's go to the CS. We all have Indians, Astros.
I have Red Sox.
Okay, Indians, Astros. I'm going to Astros in 6 just because I can't pick the Indians. But I really do like this Astros team, and they're another team. If they get past the first round, watch out. If the X factor with them is just Verlander, if he can pitch against the Indians. Ryan.
I have Indians over Red Sox in 5.
Will.
I have Indians over the Astros in 6.
Damn. Okay, so we'll get to our World Series there in a second. NLCS. Will, you have Nationals Dodgers.
Yeah, I'll take the Nationals in 6. Again, we've talked about it. I don't think that the Dodgers have it.
They don't have it. Do they have it?
No, Cubs in 6. LA is a soft serve organization, and when it comes to getting to the World Series, they don't have it.
So our World Series, I have Astros, Cubs. Ryan has Cubs versus Indians. Will has Indians versus Nationals. Okay, so we all have different picks here. I'm going Astros over the Cubs in 7 games. Now, actually, I think the Astros, once they get there, are just going to start cooking. I'm going to say Astros in 5 games. I really believe in this Astros team if they can get past the Indians. So I'm going Astros in 5, and Houston strong, baby. Will, you can go because I know your team is not in our hypothetical scenario, but Ryan's is, so I'll make him go last.
I'll take Nationals in 7. I really like the Nationals if everyone's healthy.
Okay, so Ryan's obviously picking the Indians then.
Indians in 7, in a rain delay in the 10th inning, but the Indians win this one.
Nah, I can't handle
That'd be great.
That
would be so good for baseball.
It would be. Baseball is going to be hopefully the talk of America in October. We can't wait. We're super pumped. Stay tuned for all our coverage on Twitter at RealWT Sports, on what is it called? Online.
On our website.
On our website at wtsports.net. On Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. And follow Will on Twitter too at Will Rommel 4. That's Will ROMMELL, the number 4. So follow him on Twitter, especially if you're a Red Sox fan. You'll get some biased Red Sox coverage, but we're all a little biased. But
I cover all sports. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I'm a big sports guy.
Yeah, huge sports guy. So, stay tuned to all our coverage. It's going to be a wild postseason. We got some great content coming out. Thank you for listening, and Roll Tribe.
Go Cubs, go.
Thanks, guys, for having me on.